Firstly, it decreases your legal risk implication. Secondly, it makes you more civilized human being, whether we talk about corporate or an individual.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Superlawyer YouTube channel. Today we are joined by advocate Ankit Tiwari. Sir is a corporate and startup lawyer whose journey blends versatility and clear strategic thinking. As a partner at Lawyer Space, he advises businesses on contracts, compliance, pre litigation strategy, and organizational structuring while guiding startups and leading POSH and HR compliance frameworks. His practice spans corporate advisory, commercial negotiations, employment matters, and representing before top courts. Beyond practice, he has trained thousands of learners, making his career a mix of practical insights and purpose driven guidance. I am very eager to gain a lot of insights from you, sir, today. I am Anshi and I work as a senior associate with the Super Lawyer team. At Super Lawyer, we showcase inspiring journeys of legal professionals offering valuable insights that greatly motivate and benefit our viewers, which are young lawyers and the legal community at large. Thank you for being with us today, sir.
Thank you, Anshi. Firstly, I really want to congratulate, and I'm proud that there are such initiatives that are being taken, such as Super Lawyer. So it's a really great thing because what we are mostly doing the work in the field. I certainly believe that if you are working just in four walls, like you are a half lawyer, once you go in field, you do the things, then that's a complete lawyer thing. And at that time, we do not know where to tell those experience, how to take lead of it. And Super Lawyer is a great platform to go ahead. So I'm also very happy and excited to go ahead with this conversation.
Thank you so much, sir. Without any further delay, I'm going to start with the first question, which is that growing up, what were the early influences or experiences that helped shape your interests in law and also inspired you to choose this profession? And along with that, what were your initial years in the practice like? We'd love to know. Thank you.
So basically, when I was in 11, 12, I was a science background person. So I really love to go in depth when there are these physics laws or something like that. But again, problem is that most of the science thing I could not connect because they were more on the numbers, more on the theory. But I want something more real, like the facts of the life, what are the societal arrangement, how the things should be done. So that I found this is not coming from the science subjects. Then I thought to go with more into theoretical subjects, and I found law one of them. When I saw the CLAD paper, I found it really interesting because it is more on your practical thing, it is more on your common sense. And if you go inside it, it is limitless. So if you are really expert of it, you can even become a jurist or social scientist. So all the things make me feel that this is a good thing to go at because law cannot be read in isolation, neither could be interpreted. So that is the best thing about the law, and that's why I thought I can read these stories, I could interpret what are the rule, regulation, conduct. That's the thing which inclined my interest. And also, I believe this is an era of engineers. But when the countries were about to develop or they were just getting the framework, that was the era of the lawyers. Right, we have framed everything. So from Abraham Lincoln to Gandhiji, everyone was a lawyer. Even today, the USA is governed by the lawyers only, mostly by the law powers through the rules. So I found that law is really powerful if you can use it very logically. And there are more good things why I romanticize this law and why I could not change this field anytime in my lifetime. I will share it ahead. So these were the things which gave me direction to go ahead with law as a career.
That is something I think a lot of people would relate to. I would personally too. So, in the initial phases, what were your experiences while you were starting out in law? Could you share some of your experiences that help you gain a lot of insights and build your practice?
So again, I would be very transparent with this answer. I'm also a human. So as a human, when we were in first year, so we always think I want to write a research paper. Then in second year, you would think I want to do a moot. Third year, you want to do an internship. Fourth year, fifth year. Then when you start your law practice, then you say only one time I want to do a filing, at least for one time. Then you say at least one you want to do a legal research. Then you say only one case. Then you say only 10,000, then 50,000, 60,000. So I do not think my initial phase has been like completely. It's always on, on. You always want to build, 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 learn, learn, learn. implement. So yeah, initially it's about knowing how the society works in practical sense, how code works, how legal implication works. So these all the things sometimes give us a paradigm shift that everything is not very positive. Society has its own way to run. Law on book and law in action are two different things. And as a legal profession, you have to make a good balance that your book and your morality remains the same. And you also able to deliver the field work which you are required. And I think from here to next 15 years, I could not say that my initial journey has been completed because it's like 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, one writ petition, one SLP. I don't know when my craving will be satisfied.
That's absolutely true, sir. In law, it's always learning and learning. It is endless. So it teaches you at every curve a different thing. So,
Yeah, initially, if you see, first we say, okay, check for there are the check bounce. Okay, we here as a second, third year student. Then we say, okay, negotiable instrument. Okay. Then we say section 138. Okay. Okay. Then we see the case file. Oh my God. Then we say, oh, we got a case of negotiation instrument act. Then we get it resolved either through summary trial or the civil procedure. Then say, but this is just one of the most commercial or most big area of thing, but I want to be a constitutional lawyer. When the constitutional matter came, but then you solve that, then you say, oh, that's good, but I want to do an international law or the service law. So you always a student of law, that is a thing.
absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And I think it should be that way. If you have to build a practice, you have to know everything, and it will be endless and it will go on forever, which is a good thing, I think. So, coming to my next question, was there a particular moment of transition that steered your career towards strategic leadership and corporate startup advisory also? And what made you eventually establish your own practice? We would love to know.
Okay, so I will be blunt on this thing. Firstly, why corporate and compliance? When you see a lawyer is a combined personality of multiple professions. Let me give you an example. Right now, I think you are also from law. So right now we are doing role of journalist. Then when you do research, then at time we are the scholars. When you do the field work, when you assist the police in solving the cases or getting the investigation, you are acting as an investigation officer. And when you are dealing with corporates, then you are the CLO, chief legal officer. So a lawyer is a combined of many things. So that's why I do not feel that lawyers should always be limited to the court. I believe the approach should be changed. We should, even Supreme Court wants is that we should focus on compliance. We should focus on legal audit. Now there are the financial audits, but we should also do a legal audit, like how the team or corporate could be legally compliant, so that risk could be mitigated of litigation. Because it's not the court, it is a procedure that is very vast, that is very complicated. It takes everything away from you. So I feel the corporate should focus more on compliance, more on the prevention than cure. That's why I found that legal compliance, legal audit, legal advisory to the small corporate SMEs would be really helpful. So that's the reason I shifted to here. And blunt or the harsh thing is that if you are into practice, I'm also into practice. Like we are the team of three, four people. Ma'am, in practice, it is really difficult to be financially independent because as an employer, when you work, you always want to take more commission of you and less commission goes to the employees who are working on the field for you. So I feel like it's been 5, 6 years. I always been a junior, junior, junior. Even my position gets good and even my experience. But I do not think in a chamber practice or in a litigation practice, without being independent, you could make a great, great move. So that's why I thought enough of learning. We all know law. Even I think you know law, everyone know law. More important is that how you get the client and how you deliver the work. So senior is required till the time you understand the legal business or the legal things, how it works. After that, you should be independent. Everyone should be independent. Lawyer could be independent and take the things by its own.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, sir. Continuing the same conversation, from your experience, how do you think the nature of working in a law firm differs from having a chamber practice?
So see, this is again when I was working in a field, I observed that when there is any company incorporation, whenever someone want to invest or someone want guidance, the people at large used to prefer CA over lawyer. Why C? Because somehow they have maintained that dignity or the professionalism. But as a lawyer, I'm also a lawyer. I'm taking this on me. As a lawyer fraternity, we have lost trust and interest of many people. And this is very prevalent in chamber practice. So in chamber practice, you have a big name, you can solve any problem, but it will be solved by the top-notch lawyer who is working in chamber by in his own terms and conditions. That thing is not so good because there isn't professionalism, there is need to efficiency, effectiveness that is not there. Now the solution is the law firm. Law firm works as in corporate. It is a structured body. It believes on giving the professional services on the price you pay. So client would rather prefer you for more professional and more one-to-one better services rather than chamber practice. Chamber practice are great, but I think we need more professionalism in chamber practice as there are in the law firms.
That's beautifully explained. Coming to my next question, could you share with us, for a broader audience, that how would you explain a legal audit and compliance, and how does it play a crucial role in today's regulatory environment?
As per this present working government, they are more focused on less corruption, more implementation. So now again, I will tell you the field reality. You might have heard about the POSH law, prevention of sexual harassment, right? So in that, it is mentioned that even if you do not put the poster of POSH compliance, you do not maintain registry, then there would be a financial implication to you. Similarly, in hospital, there should be a green dustbin, yellow dustbin, or ambulance free of cost. So these all are the things which ought to be done. And now the people are started doing it. So there are two benefits. Firstly, it decreases your legal risk implication. Secondly, it makes you more civilized human being, whether we talk about corporate or an individual. If you are doing legal compliance, legal audit in any law, any section, it is mentioned that you need, like now, let's take an example of data protection. Anybody that is collecting data should do data audit, they should maintain records, they should do data processing, everything. Now, ma'am, tell me, in every small district of India, there are the government hospital, but there are the banks. Okay, so bank is centralizing. Talk about the hospitals, schools, hotels, all they have a data. But whether they are processing it or not, whether they are maintaining a proper thing or not. So, ma'am, these all the things, if we work more on the compliance thing, na, ma'am, then the civilization will be increased, corruption will be reduced, and overall litigation will be reduced. So, it will be beneficiary for all. So that's why I certainly believe that legal audit and legal compliance is the must thing that everyone, especially corporates, should do. Even I would say, ma'am, as we have a pandit, personal pandit, as we have a personal CA, every family has, one should always have a personal legal profession with them to just tell them whatever they are taking, whether they are taking legally sound decision or not.
Absolutely, sir. I think that is very necessary in today's time, considering the evolving legal landscape. And even generally, also, we most of the times do not know what exactly law is. Most people generally might not know what exactly the implication of their deeds are. So, that is an amazing, amazing thought.
Now, just 2 points. Firstly, ma'am, in big corporates, like I used to have some labor law litigation. What HR and the employees do now, they are in ITs, they are in MBA. They believe by earning so much, they have an intellect. And what they used to, they play around with Chat GPT, and they draft their mail through Chat GPT. Let's consider there was an employee who was in IT company. He drafted an email or a legal notice to his employer, and he mentioned Industrial Dispute Act. Now they believe by saying chat GPT or by doing some Google research, they could understand law. But industrial dispute act do not apply on every employee. They do not know that. And by just writing industrial dispute act or so on and so forth, the employer get turned and he took decision against him. So that's why whatever the work of a lawyer, let him do it. Whatever the work of doctor, let them do it. Do not run your mind where you do not have an expertise. As simple as that. That's why lawyer in every family, in every corporate is required.
Absolutely, sir. Coming to my next question, you have handled a lot of cases. So, could you share one of the most demanding matters you've handled so far, and how did you prepare yourself to manage that work and the high pressure that comes with it? Because everyone has that one matter that they would say that is the most difficult, or you got to experience a lot in that? So what was that one for you?
We cannot say like money could always be a factor to decide the difficulty. I will give you two, three instances where I really got stuck. So if you want to change your legal name, let's say if you get married or if you want to change your surname or something like that, you can go and get affidavit done, then notary done, then you have to publish it and that's it. But when you change your religion, your first name and last name are changing. Now that name change, you have to again do affidavit, and there is that self attestation that has to be signed by the SDM. Now in SDM court, no one know about this. Even I read so much of law and regulation. It is a well-known fact that SDM will sign, and then only your name and surname will change. But under which law it is written? And which lawyer can assist me or clerk assist me or the bureau can assist me? There was no one. So that is an ongoing thing. Now this is a matter of only 5,000. But again, the difficulty is that I could not find out the legal backing. Without legal backing, I cannot go to SDM and say, under this section, you are authorized to do this. But on the notification, I can found it. And notification are not core law that SDM take on it. Another matter is that there is a friend of mine. So he and his wife is in dispute. They are going with the divorce thing. Now, ma'am, hear it out what he said. My wife has filed dowry case against me that I have asked for it. Ankit, now I have read the Section 3 of Dowry Act and they are saying someone who takes it or gives it. So if I have taken, so cases are going against me. Now they have given me. So case should be filed against them as well. Okay. So yeah, as per law, she is right. It is written. But now I went to the police. Sir, we have to write this. He said, no, I cannot write this. We have never written this. Okay. Then we decided with the judicial court that we should draft a private complaint. So we have drafted the private complaint. We have done all the things. But when the matter will reach the court, court works on the traditional way. They do not work on the whims and fancies of whatever it is written. So, ma'am, now to get that case admitted, again, it is a matter of very less amount. But again, the headache which I have of it is really complicated. Now, the third matter, which is really interesting and the area is emerging, that is, ma'am, infrastructure and construction law. So, whenever we see road, bridges, we see any infrastructure activities that is being governed by the government only. So, ma'am, in that, we do not know that lawyer also play a great role. So, any work has to be done within a limit of time. Now, I have worked like 1.5 years in this field. So, what happened, ma'am, when government give the tender, tender got signed, contractor will fulfill the duty. Now, we know all the government project get delayed. Now, why they get delayed? Firstly, the owner, like government, should give them a free land to construct. Now, free land is given after getting NOCs from all the person who were preoccupied from that. So now there are the procedural defects when it got delayed in getting the land to the government. Then once the government give the land, takes the land, then it give to the contractor. And then this series go on. If there is one tree while making a road, then one tree require 5 to 10 permission to get cut down. And again, the contractor will go to the owner. Owner is the government. Owner will go to the concerned authority, that is the forest department. These all the things get resolved, but time get extended. As the time get extended, the amount which a contractor is getting through the work will get reduced. That is another terms and condition in NHAI contract, EPC contract we used to say that. So now dispute is that under whom the obligation was not fulfilled, whether the government has not given the land or the permission, whether the contractor has delayed, not placed many personnel in the place. So now the role of lawyer is to write the letters to the government that this is a problem, I'm doing this. So what is this letter writing? This is evidence development. Once all the letter will be developed, this matter will directly reach the court. This will reach the arbitration. And ma'am, in arbitration, if a matter is of 300 crores, 400 crores, because one road of 20 kilometer take 50, 60 crore to build. So if we say Ames is being built, so how many crore you can just estimate it. Now the arbitrator who has been seeing all the letters, all the things, he is following case from long time. That once you become an arbitrator or as a law firm, you are assisting your client in an arbitration proceeding. Even if you get 2% of the total contract value. That would be around 5-10 crores rupees. And the law firms are doing this work. So this is really great. And the new work that is being emerging, there are some seminars, courses which are around it, but very limited. And bit technical work because you have to know civil engineering also while doing this. But it is an amazing work. I worked on 2-3 projects. One was of 2,400 crores of government. So these are the interesting area and the most challenging things also.
Those are some great experiences, and I think the viewers would gain a lot of knowledge from your experiences. I would really love to know now that as a partner at Lawyer Space, what core values and long term vision shape your leadership style and the approach you have for client advisory?
Ma'am, I should not say, but it is the reality. We are into the business of law. So, firstly, one thing should be taken care of, that is a professionalism. If you take money, you have to deliver it. You have to give best legal opinion, best thing out of it. And you have to give on time and in best possible manner in professional. So one core value is professionalism. Secondly is, ma'am, to connecting with the fundamentally good person. Now again I am telling you, in field when you will go, there are 40% of work which are legitimate, for which lawyers are being hired. Lawyers are being hired majorly for the wrongful purposes also. So I have a very clear part to connect it with more fundamentally right clients so that I can help them in building their legal business or whatever their legal requirement in very legal manner, in a very moral manner also. Secondly, ma'am, I always want to be someone who want to build something of my own. So I will never say I have employees. I always take them as a business partner. And I always say them like 2 years maximum. If they are not good into generating the work, then it's okay. Otherwise, I always believe you should always work for 3 to 5 years, max to max, in some place. More than that, you should not. If you do not have any financial obligation, you should always be a leader of your life. And as a lawyer, you should never be an employee. For 3 to 5 years, you learn the business, you do your basic financial obligation and all those things. I'm lawyer. If we go in court, it's not like hundred of lawyers. There are hundred of entities. Each one is working on its own. By their name, just for example, if by your name you can earn 200 rupees, that is more satisfactory than earning 2 lakh on behalf of your employer who do not take care of yours. So, ma'am, that is a thing, that connecting with the right resources, right business partner, and connecting with the right clients would be my approach with full professionalism. And see, ma'am, we should take 3 follow-ups, but not more than that. If someone want to give you work, they will. Otherwise, it will not. And that's the philosophy and the principle which I'm aligning with.
That's a beautiful, beautiful philosophy, sir. I think a lot of younger generation should take inspiration from you, and you rightly said that it should be the way that you've done it.
The Lakshmi, the money. If you are earning, you should give it to others as well. Say, for example, you have a driver, you have an clerk assistants, you have someone who have research for you. You are like, if you are getting money, if you will hold it now, I am not a Mukesh Ambani, I know that. But if you have some money, take your expenses out. But the person who are aligning with your work, you should always give them good money. If you cannot give a good money and freedom, then you are doing something wrongful. And like I certainly will, if you are earning in crores, at least give like 30, 40,000, 50,000 to your junior now. But this is not a practice in law, and that is really disheartening. That's why my principle would be, if I am earning good, whatever I will be earning, I will be giving them in that proportion only, in a good proportion only.
Absolutely, sir. And that is how it should be. Everyone should follow this principle. Coming to and building up with what lawyers and young generation should or should not do, I would really like to ask you that in the legal profession, what do you think matters the most? Is it the talent, particular knowledge, business acumen? Is it netagiri or academic knowledge? And if you could share a few nuggets on how the younger generation can have a established practice like yours, how can they build upon their skills? We would love to know and we would love to share it with our viewers as
Firstly, I will tell about the younger students. If someone asks me, how should a student be? Take an admission in any state or central government university, first thing. But that city should be tier 2, tier 1. Second thing, never go to college. Just take admission. Okay, never. Next thing you should do, you should take Rahul IS judiciary classes. It costs you 2,50,000, but they will teach you law and principle in the best possible way that no legal college can teach you. Once you're done with your theoretical studies, then take LawSikho course. It will give you the practical aspects. When you have a LawSikho on the business side, when you have a Rahul's IS or some good mentor on your theoretical side, you are good to go. Then always, if you want to be a lawyer, always go to the court. That what I missed in my early life, that I never gone for the filing or something like that. But if you want, you should go. And if you want to be a lawyer, your mind should be open. You cannot be like any other corporate. If you think of safety, security, right or wrong, or finances really matters for you, ma'am, I don't think this profession will work for you. So you always have to be that courageous, that going beyond the limitation. You should be the person who should challenging the things. You should be person who can independently think. Right now, if anyone want to go get a great career, just career, then go in LPO, then go in-house, then go with the law firms. Work 1 year in the court, you will get all the mind-opening perspective, and then apply for any corporate and go ahead. But if you really want to be a lawyer, always work on the field. See, now, ma'am, there is a website named as Kanun. So, ma'am, there people used to write their queries, general. Read them, understand them, try to solve them. You cannot reply to them because there are very few accounts who can reply to it. But try to solve them. Try to solve more and more legal problems, legal inquiries. And by that, you will get your good mind. Books will never do, attendance will never do, mood court will never do, research paper will never. Whatever is being taught to us, you do not need to do this. That's the only thing. Do what brings money, do what brings solution, and all the practical things will bring the solution, not these things.
Absolutely, sir. And I think law colleges somehow, I would say, really lack in teaching the practical aspects to students. So, coming to my last question, in your view, what truly defines meaningful education and learning? And how should colleges evolve their approach to better equip students? Because somehow doing projects in the college does not actually give them practical insights that going to court does. And what I also sometimes feel that somehow students are not given that exposure of going to courts and having that practical experience. So I would love to know your take on this aspect.
Ma'am, universities are not designed to give anyone a great future. They are designed to get the educational institutes to get that business or that things to run the society. But I do not think university in next 50 or 60 years will try to improve themselves. The only thing they are doing good is now UGC has brought the professor of practice thing. Right. So now if you are working in the field, the people who are teaching, ma'am, I am telling you, I'm also doing my PhD. I can easily go in any college. I love to teach. I can go in any college. I start giving them lectures on the international law, on the administrative law. But what I'm teaching them, I'm not teaching them. I'm just fooling them. Let all the teachers put their hand on the heart and say whether they know how the code works, whether they know how the corporate works. You do not know, ma'am. No one knows. Let's take an example of venture capital or legal due diligence or anything. There is only one or two section if someone teaches in very good way and how the practical things work. That is more than enough. But again, you want to do a business. No one cares about the student. They just want that they are in society. People will go to education. They will pay the money. That is the stereotype we have. So let's build something very fancy. Give them placement things, but do not give them a eye opener thing. Do not give them practical thing. Otherwise, no one will come to college. So the only good thing that is happening and that should happen is that the UGC approved teacher should not teach. Simple. The person who is willing to teach, first thing, the person who is working in the field should teach. Rest all the teaching thing is, ma'am, of no sense. There is only one professor, Upendra Bakshi. That professor has been requested by the BCI and the different authorities to be the judge of the Supreme Court. Directly, he is not a advocate or a judge. He is a professor. That is only one thing. But 99.99%, no professor was invited either to be advocate general or in-house counsel or venture capitalist, legal venture capitalist, or anything in legal field, because we know no matter you are teaching in NLU Bangalore, no matter whatever the things you are developing, that is not the main thing. The work is done in the field, not by sitting and teaching. So the only good thing can happen is the person working in the field should come and teach. And once when they give 2 3 lectures, more than enough. So that is a paradigm shift we should broad, and I think LawSikho has brought that, and now there are other coaching institutes which are focusing on that, and it should increase only.
Thank you so much for sharing all of your thoughtful experiences with us. And thank you so much for gracing us with all of your knowledge. We are absolutely delighted to have you today, sir. And it was an amazing session. I hope the students that will see this interview gain a lot of interesting thoughts and go forward with how you've gone through your journey. Thank you so much for
And
being.
ma'am, this is also a legal teaching. That's through webinar podcast. This is also best way to learn a student what could be the practical aspects of law. So
Okay.
that is great. Even we learn this way only, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you
Thank
for your time and consideration.